Hello and welcome to a X-Wing Store Championship. This is held on July 8th, 2017 at Night Watch Games here in San Antonio, Texas. This game is between myself and Mason. Mason is down from College Station, Texas, and this is the second and third place game in the top four after the cut. Mason begins the game on the left side of the screen and I'm on the right side. Mason's playing an interesting setup. He's playing the new Chewy with 4 Z95s. His Chewy has expertise and operational specialist with C-3PO. This was a list that was kind of bounced around a little bit when Chewy first came out, but not a lot of people gave it a lot of credit. But I'll tell you, and I'll point out a few things here in the match. One, Mason's a very good player, and you can tell by the way he plays. But also, this list has some elements to it that really catches a lot of people off guard and can make it really potent against a lot of meta lists. He said that he plays against a lot of meta lists with friends often, and it wins often. It's a very good list for him. He begins the game by coming out with his 4 Z95s. Now the Z95s do not have anything on them. They're just basic Z95s. He comes out relatively fast, 4 straight on all of them, and then a 1 straight with his Chewy. I had contemplated several setups when I began playing, but ultimately this is the 5th game, and my focus was mostly on recording, so I thought I would play relatively straightforward with him. I contemplated putting Han all the way down at the bottom of the map and coming up the side, and if he came for Han, pull him inside early. And you'll see when I start to move, I thought about even dragging him through the asteroids, but ultimately decided against that, and I'll show you why here in this next move. So I move Han just a soft one towards the bottom of the map. And that's going to give me the option of I get to see where he's going. If I want to take off and just head towards the bottom of the map and drag him through the asteroids, or if it's favorable for me to go in towards the joust. I did the same with Poe. Now Poe can dance around a little bit better, and so I went ahead and I felt like heading straight towards him I might have some benefit for me, and so I do my BB-8 moves here, and then I will end it with a boost towards him, which will give us a range 3 shot between one of the Z's and Poe. I wasn't real hot on the range 3 shot, mostly because it's not the greatest benefit for me. However, in the exchange I took no damage, and then his Z95 takes 1 shield, which is good, and then I'm also set up in a pretty good position for the next turn, and I'm fairly happy with this move here. The only thing I'm not real happy about is where Han Solo is. However, it's not the worst spot, but nonetheless, the not terrible moves by either of us out of the gate. So. The setup is definitely good, depending on how it goes for us next. I roll 2 hits. He's going to roll 3 greens with 1 evade. He saves his focus, and he's going to shoot back. He rolled really hot in this match. I was rolling fairly hot too. He's going to roll a hit and a focus. He's going to spend his focus for 2 hits, and then I'm going to roll an evade and 2 blanks, but I have sensor cluster, so I evaded the 2. This will take us into turn 2 of the match. And this is where he's going to give me my first opportunity to make it through this joust on top. And I'll show you. I'm going to make one of my first mistakes here. See, he's going to bank 2 into Poe. He's going to go after Poe early, and him banking in like that really allows me to do some things with Han that keeps him out of danger, and with BB-8 I have the opportunity to also stay out of danger with Poe. He's going to drop all of his target locks. Now, one of the reasons he's going to do that is because with Operation Specialist, he's going to be able to get focuses early on. With one of them misses, he'll put a focus on another ship, and so he'll be focused and target locked. And with 4 ships, even with 2 dice, that's a lot of dice coming at you if you're not careful with it. One of the reasons I have an advantage here is I can, as long as I picked a green maneuver, and I picked a green 1 straight, and I can dance around. But not only can I dance around, I can drop some of those target locks from Poe, which is very helpful for me. And so I'm set up nicely here to evade a lot of damage out of the joust, and also the opportunity to do damage to him. So he has loaded Poe up. Obviously he's going for Poe. He's going to bring Chewy in. And again, Chewy has expertise, so he's very... it's pretty offensive for a gun with a turret. He's going to make this here, and he's going to take the focus. So now, again, I picked the 1 straight. And the reason I did that is if he just came straight in, I was just going to go to the left. And I contemplated going back here and only giving him a range 3 shot with a few of the ships, but... so I'm going to contemplate this here for a minute. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ultimately barrel roll to the right, take my focus, do my maneuver, and then boost. And that's going to stick me at range 1 at Chewy, but out of the arcs of the 4 Z95s. I'm going to drop effectively all of his the target locks are going to become ineffective at that point. What else that does for me here, and as soon as I make the move, you'll see this. It sets me up for a good next turn, and I thought that as soon as I made it, I was like, okay, well, after this turn, I can do another 1 bank in, and BB-8 roll out, take a focus target lock, and probably have Chewy at range 1 with a focus and target lock. And this is, so like I said, this is very good for me early, and I'm very happy. And as soon as we go into this engagement, I want to show you something very critical about his list that I just, 5th game, just completely did not think about. Again, I've never played new Chewy, so I have no concept, no practice concept. I had an idea. My whole goal, killed Chewy and then deal with 4 Z95s. And that everybody says that. And actually, I was talking to one of his friends, and he said the same thing. He's like, we always say that, but for some reason, we always shoot a Z95. Now, you're going to see me move into position here. I do my regular maneuver. I took a focus, and now I'm going to do a boost, and I'm going to drop the 2nd target lock. So I've ditched 2 target locks. I'm out of arc on all of his ships, except for Chewy. And now I'm range 1 of Chewy. And then I'm going to move Poe, or Han, up into, he's going to do a slight 2 to the towards the top of the map, and I'm going to take an evade. I have the presumption that he's going to go after Han Solo. So after I make these maneuvers, now Han's a lot easier to make, but Poe is he's good, but you have to practice with him. You can stick him in some terrible spots, and he can go down relatively fast. But if with some practice, he's a very, very good ship. And so I move Han Solo up. And so I have the 2 9s. I have the 2 first shots. So with Han, I said, okay, I'm going to do the normal day. I'm just going to go ahead and take this Z95 out because, obviously 4 ships are better than 5. But what I did not think about at the time was once I blow that ship up, Chewy can fire back. So that's essentially like, now with Poe sitting at range 1, that's essentially like shooting Dengar at range 1 in arc, which you would never do. Like, you would never do that with Poe. But for some reason, I decided to do that here with Han. And this is the beginning. This is the first major mistake, and you'll see this throughout the game. Range 1, so I roll 4 hits. I mean, obviously I blasted him, and I talked to him after the game. He's like, when he said I was going after these, he's like, okay, because again, that's like shooting Dengar at range 1 in arc. So I blow the Z95 up. That's going to give Chewy an opportunity to shoot me back. He's going to roll his dice here. He ultimately winds up with 3 damage. which is good for me. It's not. It's not everything. I roll an evade and a blank, and this is the second mistake I made. When you're facing several shots, you should never spend the focus with sentry cluster. The sentry cluster should be used on this when you think you're relatively safe from the next shot, or the last shot of a barrage of shots. But I go ahead and spend it, and so I'm tokenless, and he has another range 1 shot coming from Chewy. So he's removed my focus. I'm not going to be very as offensive as I could be. I'm going to roll 4 dice here from Poe into Chewy, and I'm going to roll very well. I roll 4 hits, naturally. Like I said, I was rolling pretty hot early too, and the thing that irks me a little bit about that is that could have been 7 dice at Chewy early on, which would have turned the fight towards my favor. So he has C3PO, and he calls 0. Takes 3 shields, and again, that could have been 3 more shields from, or at least 2 more shields and a damage from Han. So he rolls 2 hits and a crit here. There's my 2 shields. I roll a couple focuses, and that's where I shouldn't have spent my focus the last time. I could have walked out of this with only using shields, but that's a double damage, and so I got to make the decision if I want to drop my astromech and lose my BB-8 abilities, and I ultimately decided to do that, to leave myself with 3 hit points, but without my BB-8. Now remember when I said that I had planned on doing a softbank in and having him at range 1 and with the BB-8 barrel roll and a focus and a target lock. Now, because I've taken so much damage, because I shot that Z95, because he had 2 range 1 shots at me, I now have to change my game plan. Now Han's still completely healthy. He's going to roll some shots here with his Z95s, and I believe he winds up almost stripping all of my my shields. So 2 blanks from the first one, but it missed, and so he can give another one a focus. I believe this is a range 1 shot, coming from his next one here. Yeah, range 1, which it's going to be 3 hits. He rolled, he rolled very well, and for Z95s, again, if you have 4 ships, even with 2 dice, that's going to hurt. So I lost the shield here, and then he's going to roll, I believe, 2 more hits here. Let me see what he rolls here. Yeah, see, 2 natural hits. And so I roll nothing. I roll a focus, I believe, and 2 more shields. So I lost 3 shields in the barrage, and then he severely crippled Poe. So where I was completely set up to win the joust, I have now lost the joust in the opening turns. And we're going to move into turn 3 of the match now. The Z95s are making slow movements up forward into combat. He makes that. It's very close, but he makes that move. He's going to target lock Han Solo. His other 2 Z95s, I believe, are going to 1 bank down, and also take target locks on Han Solo. And then the last Z doing the same thing. This one might bump, maybe not. Again, there's a range 1 right now, and if one of them shoots and misses, the other one will get a focus, which again, operational specialist is as big as the Z95s and the extra shots are for Chewy. That operational specialist was huge in this match because it gave him a focused target lock with Z95s almost at least once or twice around. So he's not going to make this. He's gonna run in there again with expertise, though. That's not the end of the world. I contemplated turning out here with Han, but I didn't. I went straight, I believe. I tried to go fast. I tried to go 4. Just try to shoot past him. I was hoping he was going to come in a little, or I would have a little bit more room there on the backside. I not contemplating Chewy coming in like that. So he blocked Han there. So he has 3 range 1 shots at Han. Now Poe's going to be out of the fight here, and again, a missed opportunity for me. I toss in the astromech. I'm in a bad spot, and so I'm gonna boost it to get out of range 1, and I'm gonna take the focus. And so that's gonna allow him to take all of his shots at Han. Han's not, terribly injured. He's missing 3 shields. That means I only have 2 left. Putting him in a hole is going to be very bad for me. But then these paper cuts that are getting me with these Z95s. I'm going to take the range 1 with Han. And again, this is so last turn if I could have put the 5 or 6 damage onto him, this would be another 4. Of course, -1 because he's going to call 0, so it would have been 3. And with Poe in a better position, that could have been a dead Chewy in round 3. So he's going to take 2 shields here. Instead, no, he goes 1 in the hole. Instead, he's just 1 in the hole, which is where he should have been last round. But the incredibly deceptive injured Z95, kind of funny concept, but so 2 hits against Han. I'm going to call 0 on C3PO, and so I'm going to take 1 shield there. And then his Z95s are going to shoot, both at range 1. And that's going to be target lock. 2 hits. Nothing for me. So I'm going to take 2 more damage. 1 in the hole for me. So Chewie and Han are tied up right now, and I'm okay with this for now. The target lock, because again the match is going to be, for me, it's going to be between Chewie and Han. There's 2 more hits on the table. I'm going to take 2 more here. So now I am behind the power curve on Chewie, which is going to put me in a pretty desperate situation. Not out of it completely, but not where I would like to be. Entering to turn 4. His Z95s are gonna, the front one's gonna make a 3K turn. The 2 front ones are gonna try to jam me up again, and then Chewie's gonna make a 1 turn towards Poe and take its focus. Now with Poe sitting out there injured, he does make a very juicy target. But he ultimately, see what happens here. The third Z95 is just going to run right into me here. Now this is my opportunity. He is in front of me, but what I need to do now is start reducing the amount of shots coming from the Z95s. And so now that he has 2 facing the wrong direction, this is where I was kind of hoping to be last turn with the 4 straight, but he's going to give me a chance here to only have to deal with 2 shots. Now Han is crippled, but not the end of the world for me. I have some room to come back here if I play this smart enough. Han's going to 3 bank out here, so it's going to put me behind 2 of those Z95s, and then it's going to put me in range 1 of Chewy. The biggest thing here for me is that Poe's not going to be able to shoot because of where he is. I'm going to have to do a green maneuver here, and this is how you effectively deal with Poe. Once he's severely injured and he cannot BB-8, and he's not a regen Poe, then I'm dealing with a inability to maneuver. It's going to take me some time to turn around here, and with only 1 shot coming at Chewy, C-3PO is going to be able to deal with that pretty well. I'm going to land 4 hits with Chewy here. He's going to take 2 of them. He had a focus, and he called 0 on C-3PO. So he takes 2 hits. Now, see, that would have been really good if I would have had Poe's guns on him, but he has 5 hit points left. So I'm back in front of the power curve now. Poe can't shoot, so he's got to decide where he wants to shoot. Now, he makes the right decision here and takes 2 shots at Han Solo. First shot coming. He contemplates going after Poe because Poe is injured, but ultimately making the right decision and going after Han, because Han is right now is really the only threat. I'm hoping for Poe to turn back around eventually. By that time, Han or Chewie being dead, and being able to come after those Z95s with him. But right now he's effectively out of the fight. That was my thinking at the time. Range 1. It's going to be 3 hits. Now I'm going to take 1 of those. This is where the Z95s really start to get after me a little bit. He's going to roll 2 dice at range 3. There's a hit and a crit there. Without having stress, without having to spend the target lock. I'm going to roll 2 dice and none of them are evades. There's a blinded pilot for me. And that is crucial because I need to be taking Chewie off the board, and me not being able to shoot next round is ridiculous. We're going into, I guess it's turn 5 or turn 6 now. Here is, so he doesn't have a whole lot of maneuvers with his Z95s. 2 of them again are going to be out of the fray, and 1 of them is going to have a shot. Focus and target lock. He still has a target lock from last round. He's going to focus here. Still only 2 dice, but they've been hot. His other 2 are going to do 3K. It's going to be effectively out of the fight. Chewie's going to do a 1 turn towards Han. I'm going to do a 3 Talon roll with Poe, and Han is only going to do a 1 bank towards Mason. When I made that maneuver, I was thinking to myself that I want to be able to make another maneuver the next round. So even though I have blinded pilot, I didn't want to go too fast and be too far up the board. However, what's going to happen here is that 1 bank is going to leave enough room for the Z95 to have a range 3 shot. See, I think A 2 bank would have been better for me there. Again, I can't shoot this round because I have blinded pilot. Do a talon roll there. Try to make Poe a little bit more juicy of a target than Han. Because Han is on his last couple hit points here, so I really need him not to take a lot of damage here. I think I might have 4 hit points left. Can't remember at this point, but definitely can't take a lot of damage here. I don't need to be taking a lot of damage here. So again, I have blinded pilot. I'm gonna roll with Poe here. I'm gonna roll like 2 blanks and 2 focuses, so it was a miss or something to that effect. And so he's gonna take his shot. Range 1. He's gonna go into Han Solo here. 4 hits, so I'm going to call none on Han. I'm gonna take 2 damage here. So I have 2 hit points. So not a good spot, not a great spot, terrible spot, but range 3, 2 dice on 2 green dice. It's not the end of the game yet for me until he rolls naturally 2 hits again. Again, those Z95s were pretty hot, and I rolled nothing. That finishes Han off. So essentially, the game is 3 hit point Poe with no BB-8 on 3 healthy Z's, and in his, I believe he might have 4 hit points left on Chewy. And we're entering in one of the last rounds of the match here. He's going to do the right thing. The only thing I can do is hope to take down Chewy relatively quickly and get out unscathed with Poe. Now with 4 ships coming at you, that's probably not going to happen. I have my opportunities, but again, with C-3PO, if you don't have more than 1 ship shooting at it, it's never going to do the work for you. So he stays stressed here. All he wants to do is, he's rolling hot. Why not? And again, even if he misses, he's going to get those focus tokens. So it doesn't really matter that he's stressed out here. Again, another brilliant move to the list creation. That and I still to this day have not found a great way to use operational specialists, but he used it to great effect during this tournament. I'm going to 1 bank in here. I think he takes the focus. I'm going to 1 bank in here. I'm going to take a focus target lock. Again, though, even if I put 4 hits through, only 2 are going to go through. And then he's going to have a barrage of shots coming at me. I believe at this point I still have 3 hit points. This turn, focus target lock, obviously. I was debating on not stressing myself if I wanted to try to K turn next turn, but I'll go ahead and opt to try to do more damage. I believe on this shot I do 4 C here, and obviously that's going to turn into 2. He's going to roll a focus. He's going to call none. He's going to roll the focus, and so he's going to only take 2 damage. That leaves him with 2 hit points. Now in hindsight, this is several moves back, and then one of those could have been a crit. That would have helped me out a lot, but okay, so he takes 3 here. That's going to leave him with 2 left. In hindsight, if the very first shot would not have been against that Z95 and it would have been up against Chewy, this game would have been completely different for me. But again, it's the same thing. He's going to roll 2 hits here. Oh, maybe which one? Okay, I'm going to get out of this one for sure. And so he misses, and so his Z95 is going to get a focus, and it's the way it goes. It's target locked also. He's going to take some shots here. He's going to roll fairly well. 1 hit. Looks like I get out of that one unscathed, so he's going to get another focus if he wants it. Oh no, it's outside of range 2. Hit crit, I believe. Oh, and so I take 1 there, and then the next one coming in. I think I have to spend my focus there, and then it's a natural. I might have evaded 1 here. We're gonna go 1 more round here. This is a structural damage. And so I have 1 agility. This next move, he's going to move up He's going, and I'm going to move 3 past him. I'm going to shoot past him. I'm going to boost, and I'm going to take a focus instead of taking the getting rid of the reduced agility. So it's a range 3 shot. It's going to come from Chewy, and he's going to land all 3 of them. And obviously, I can't dodge those because I only have two green dice, and that's my last hit point. So it's game over. It was a good match. Again, it was cool to see this list come in and do well. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope to have the next one out soon. Again, thanks again to Pork and the gang for putting on the tournament. It was a good store championship, 25 players. And again, this is the first game of the cut, and then I shall have the next game of the cut coming up pretty soon. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I will get to work on the next one. Thanks.